So let's just start by closing our eyes and just dropping into this shared space. And it's really easy when we're looking at a screen to sort of go into like a spectator sort of mode of consciousness, like distance from what's happening. So the invitation here is to really give ourselves to this shared field. Just allowing everything that we are to be included here, to be part of what's unfolding. With our eyes closed, the unseen reality is all even louder. And just noticing how open this unseen reality is. I have no idea how big it is. The question doesn't even make sense. And just allowing awareness to touch everything that's in this field, everything that's here. All the different layers of our experience. And without making any of it wrong. Just relaxing any effort to get to a particular experience. or get rid of experiences that we don't like. Everything that's here is so welcome. This field of loving awareness has absolutely no objection to anything that's here. Not having the wrong experience. It's not even possible. Just letting awareness all the way inside any places that are tight or holding, any places that are protected. Again, just completely allowing them to unfold however they want to. Being as intense as they want to be. Not trying to get anywhere. Just allowing awareness to touch any place that's scared, any place that's trembling. Just noticing how alive these places are. Noticing all the different vibrations of experience. And just letting awareness all the way in. Just gently touching even the most tender places. There's nothing in us that mustn't be felt. There's nothing we're experiencing that shouldn't be here or isn't allowed. Even the somatic experience of shame, the burning, the tightness. Just letting awareness embrace it all. Even the parts of us we're so convinced make us unlovable, unwelcome. Even the deepest heartbreak. Even the most intense frustration, anger. Just allowing the full aliveness that we are to move through this space. Not needing to control it or manage it. Even the most raw experiences, the most intense. Just the full range. No part of us needs to be killed off. Already whole. Already valid. Just noticing everything that's alive in us. Giving up any attempt to control what we're experiencing. Any attempt to know what we'll experience next. It's fully open to all of it. Just allowing awareness inside every aspect, every dimension of what's here. And we so get to do this together. Just exploring this field of experience together. Get to be intimate with it all. I'd love to open this space and invite you to share, whatever's alive for you, whatever's being experienced right now, whatever you're noticing. Any questions, challenges, insights. And we so get to explore this together. Explore what's here together. Annie. I can't hear you, Annie. You must be muted still.
I just unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Oh, Leonie. I was actually calling her Annie. I think Annie was trying to speak.
Sorry, I'll mute myself again.
Okay, we'll come to you. Yeah, come to you next. Yeah. Yeah, Annie, you're muted. I don't. Or
Okay, Annie is on an iPad, and it looks like your microphone's not connected. So if you go to if there's a little microphone icon, there's an upper arrow by it. If you click on that, and you need to go to audio options. And while you're doing that, and I can help you through chat, perhaps we'll go to Fiona. See,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bit overloaded with stuff in my life at the moment, and so with just involved in a lot of different projects. So there's a lot of mental activity and a lot of computer stuff. And then my daughter's just having some big problems now in England, and I'm sort of struggling really I'm just at a complete loss of what to do, you know. And when I'm relaxing then, because there's just been this feeling of just get all the stuff done, and then maybe I can feel the right, you know, think of something I can do to help. And that's just a perpetual movement that's stopping me from just feeling the emotions that are here.
Yeah.
So I feel quite exhausted actually, and there's a pain here, like in the back of my neck and in my jaw. And when I look there, it feels like there's a lot of sadness there. But there's a real not wanting to really fully access it, like I suppose a fear of really letting myself feel.
Yeah, just allowing it to be here now. You know, as you're touching it with the words, it's becoming available. Just dropping down into it. Like giving up any strategy to avoid it or solve it or what are you feeling?
Well, there's the sadness, and then there's a lot of frustration as well. Like it just feels like a very it's like he's been in this abusive relationship for like about a year and a half, and really this pattern's been going on a lot longer than that. You know, it's been really for the last sort of 10 years pretty much that just keeps totally breaking down, and then she keeps going back to this abusive relationship, which is just really mental, you know, crazy move, and then everything falls apart again, and just yeah, there's frustration. I really feel very compassionate to her, you know, and to the boyfriend now as well, because he's clearly like mad, you know. He's not responsible for the stuff that he's doing, but it's yeah, usually I'm very good at I usually always can make a plan, you know, of something, and I just feel completely lost.
Yeah.
Like I think, oh, I just could drop everything and go back to England again, and I keep doing this, and then it's just like, yeah, it doesn't seem to really help in the long term, you know.
Yeah, and just to really feel into that, like the sort of the not knowing, like the sense of like it's a total lack of control. And just the longing of the heart, just the love that's there.
There's also fear as well, because, you know, this bloke is really dangerous, and like really, she's like, she doesn't feel safe being at home on her own, you know, right now, and it's like there just doesn't seem to be a solution, you know, right now. I mean, there must be, but
Yeah, and it's so not wrong that we don't have the solution, that we don't know how to control the future, that we don't know how to save people.
no, I mean, I feel she has to find the solution.
Right.
I'd really like to be able to support her in that, and really, we have a very difficult relationship, and she's just been lying to me so much. It's really difficult for me to trust her, and she also is pushing me away at the same time. And then I'm concerned she's got 2 little kids, and I'm really concerned for my grandchildren, and the idea that comes, it's just not really practical, or she doesn't want it, or yeah, she just is like want to go to bed and hope it'll all just go away.
So heartbreaking. Yeah, so important to be able to feel the different parts of this, feel all the different pieces.
Yeah, there's so much at top because it triggers a lot of my childhood stuff. And my mum was depressed when I was a baby, a kid, you know. And it's like, I don't want my grandchildren to have to live through that, you know. Yeah, and I was depressed when she was little, and I was in an abusive relationship, so it's just this whole
So important to let ourselves feel the depth of these things. So tempting to turn away, to numb it out. What are you noticing now?
just there's a real pattern in me. Hide sadness, and so there's such a wanting to just block it and just.
Yeah.
There's also like shame, you know, feeling like I've failed as a parent because she's so unhappy. And there's frustration, but there's just so many things I feel like I've healed them, you know, and then they just get triggered again and again and again. And it's just exhausting.
Yeah. So good to feel this. So important.
Yeah, so it's like a real sense of hopelessness, just total hopelessness. I just need to get a tissue. I'm really sorry I didn't think about it.
Sure.
It's real. Just feeling like I'm reminding myself now of my mum, you know, just feeling hopeless, and I think I really rejected that in her, and then it's just difficult to accept it myself. But, I mean, not that I haven't. I've been through these layers over and over again, and it's like, but right now it just feels, you know, like there's a real feeling like I need to do something. But
yeah, it's just to like really allow ourselves to feel this and feel the intensity of it, and it's like, and often we don't know, you know, we just don't know what's going to happen or what the right thing to do is. And it can be so tempting then to turn away or to sort of give up or something, and like, or to deny what's happening. It's like to stay present, available, willing to take whatever action is called for, if any. And it's just so hard. I mean, it's excruciating. It's so heartbreaking. It's so not wrong that you care this deeply.
Yeah, it just feels like there's a real sort of wall up between us, you know. So it's like I feel all this emotion, but I can't really touch her at the moment because, like, the boyfriend, like, he's basically supposed to, you know, was supposed to be in court the other day and he's run away. I don't know where, but so, you know, they're not officially together right now, but I just have no idea. But he is one of them sort of people that he's a real sort of manipulating sort of character, and he's just put this huge, like, basically when she's with him, because he knows that I don't really approve of her being in this relationship. So he's just totally, I don't know how he does it, but we were quite close, you know, before she got back together with him, because I helped her run away from him and make a new life and everything. And then, and now she won't speak to me, you know. She's for quite a while. She's hardly spoken. It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to like, I just want to be there for her, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I keep just leaving all the things that I've put in place here to go there and be there for her, but then she just keeps repeating this, you know, and then it's.
Can you feel what's happening for her?
I think she's feeling completely broken right now, completely. Yeah. My husband has gone over there, he's there right now, but he has to come back and she doesn't want to be on her own. So I would probably go over there. Yeah. And I'll just need to cancel so many things. Like, I've got so many things right now that I'm supposed to be doing here. She's in England.
Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us and being willing to feel this. So we really get to be in the whole truth of it. The whole aliveness. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Annie. Phone's unmuted.
Oh, you got my message. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit of a technological failure. So I'm on the phone and on my iPad at the same time. I can't figure out how to make it all work together. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Annie.
It's so nice to see you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Fiona, for sharing. Yeah, thank you for sharing. So I'm having trouble sitting so still. I feel like I have to sit still because people can see me and I don't want to be distracted. It's hard for me to sit so still. I don't really want to sit still.
No, you don't have to.
I mean, when other people are sharing, I feel like I want to shut my thing off so I don't distract when other people are sharing. Maybe I can figure out how to do that.
You're so welcome to be having the experience you're having. You know, it's so part of what's here. It's like this energy that's moving and moving our bodies. It's so allowed. It's not distracting. It's so part.
Well, I mean, just on the screen and stuff, I don't know. So I feel like I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I'm having a wonderful inner crisis right now. So the timing feels good to have that. It's like all the parts of me are firing off at the same time. Like just all these parts of me firing off, and I'm trying to hold a space for that. And sometimes this has started kind of this morning when I woke up. And sometimes I feel like I'm able to hold a space for what's firing, and then other times I feel like I'm just thinking. I'm just being like it's just becoming more than I can hold. Yeah, so maybe I could just sit with you and everyone with that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
It feels very physically challenging. I'm in a lot of physical pain. It almost feels like it's just a lot of physical pain. It's like manifesting very physically. It feels like everything inside of me is just saying, don't do this, like all at once. Like, don't open all at once. It's like every arsenal that I have inside is just trying to stop this, this opening process. And that's what I woke up to. That experience.
Yeah, and just to feel the aliveness of that, the intensity of it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to close my eyes and keep you guys in my mind. It really helps to be held with everyone else, because I feel like sometimes my ability to hold just lacks. Like I lose it.
Yeah, it's so normal to find support helpful like this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very trembly and very it's like my ribs from my neck down to the bottom of my spine on my left side are just being like gripped by something. And when I heard you say, let awareness come into that, that really helped. Awareness could make its way into that without trying to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, so no violence to anything that's here. Not making any of it wrong.
Yeah.
So we're just giving it the loving awareness that it wants, loving attention. How's it unfolding now?
It's like pushing on my lungs, like my lungs feel like they're pushed up against my, it's just very hard to breathe. I think it's a memory or something that's trying to make its way through. That's my best guess, and I'm just trying to, let it do its thing. But it's just really pushing up against all my ribs. My lungs. And I have that really strong, like survival part of me that's like wanting to push this thing along. It's like pushing it, moving it along. Like won't let it, just be at its own pace. So it's just like, it's like I want to throw my hands up, like I just don't know how to.
Yeah, we're not in control. Yeah, so good to notice that. Not in control of the process. Has its own.
Something is something in me is I'm not, but something is totally just wants to control everything and the whole thing. I don't want to. My hands are just surrendered and. Oh.
Yeah, there's plenty of space for that place, just to feel it, to know it.
To name it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's just scared. It's not wrong.
Scared is a euphemism. Scared doesn't name it. It's like it feels like, honest to goodness, it feels like it is the thing that's gripping my ribs. It's like it feels like it's just holding on for dear life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just letting it be as intense as it wants to be. Feels really intense. Feels like your life's threatened, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm not scared. I'm not scared, but I feel like I'm just trying to get out of my own way. Like I'm just trying to allow the energy to move, and it's just really super challenging. Now I'm just so this Zoom thing is really freaking me out as an aside. Like that's a part of this too, just to add that into the mix. Like, sitting with you, but these people I don't know is also part of. It's just like, it's like everything inside of me is taking any opportunity it can find to just move me away from this opening to whatever this is that wants to run through me.
Yeah, and just totally like allow it, like the seeing of these places, the movement away, just like totally allowing that to be seen. Like, again, not making it wrong.
I saw Leona's face when she felt she was wrong. I saw the pain on her face, seeing that she thought something about her was wrong. It's just like, oh, it's just.
Yeah, it's all innocent.
You know what comes from what you said, what feels wrong is for me to just be here. For me just to be open. That's what everything is so afraid of inside. I'm so afraid of peacefully here to be open.
Mm.
Like, that's what everything inside of me doesn't want to have happen. It feels like today that's going on.
Yeah, this is like so sort of the core issue for most of us. You know, it's like there's that you know, we're not. It's like scared to be here. We're not allowed to be here. Not allowed to open.
It doesn't feel like it's my enemy. It just feels like it's my protector.
Yeah.
But it's like right on the edge there, so it's a lot going on right on the edge there. A lot of pain, a lot of holding. Just getting these terrible headaches, like all the way from my skull to my end of my spine. Like something's really working hard.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel the love in it actually right now. Like I can feel how it's like it remembers, you know, long ago what it was like to have an open heart and how painful that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Too much to bear.
Mm-hmm.
And I want my heart to be open, but it doesn't even, you know, it's like I can't control this process. I can't make it happen. You know, I can only just keep staying with it moment to moment as it is. Of course, I want my heart to be open.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's just, and it's not like it doesn't, it just, like, and this onslaught of like critical thoughts that are coming up now about like what I'm doing right here is like just slaying me. Like, I just want me to stop this, cut this off.
Yeah, it's great to see those as well. Just not to believe those thoughts.
Yeah, they're so convincing. They say everything that, you know, everything that is just so convincing.
Yeah, this
It's
is
such a thing.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Yeah, this is so what we're here for. To be at this depth, to be touching these places, so what we're here for. This is such a huge contribution to go here with us, to invite us into this. It's beautiful, powerful.
But Adam, it's like I keep coming to this place. It feels like the edge of the birth canal, and it's like I work in OBGYN. It's like the shoulder is stuck or something, and I can't, you know, and I know the answer is in push, because it's not like, so I just sit in this space a lot though, you know, like that place that wants to open and that place that can't let go, and it's just a holding pattern of like such tension and physical pain and it's just, I don't know, you know, I don't know how to I guess I don't know how to relax in it. I guess that's what it is. I don't know how to relax right there on the edge. You know, it's like I don't know how to relax there. Because I can't push myself. I can't. If I could, I would. Because I want release. You know, it's all this tension building, and I just want release. And you know, I can't. And it feels like the. It feels like the. It feels like my biggest life issue, really, is that I can't control things. You know, that I can't even control this. I can't even control this. I can't control this. Just like that's what like lies right there.
Yeah.
So much pain in that of not being able to control even this. You know, it's like it's such a loss. There's such a grief.
Yeah, so good to see that, just the truth of that. Like we don't get to control anything. We don't get to control what we'll feel next, what we'll think next, any of it.
Right, and some part of me is so pissed, so pissed about that. And then that just goes to a whole nother level. Like right up to God. It feels like.
Yeah, just totally to allow that feeling, that experience. All gets to be here, all these different layers. It's no state we need to get to.
Yeah, could you repeat that 12 times?
So we're just opening to all of it. It's not like a fixed posture of openness. We're not trying to adopt anything fixed. So alive.
Yeah, there's a lot of vibration happening. So I can just sit with myself. I want everybody to turn if they want one.
Yeah, and just to see if it feels complete for you here. Yeah. You know, we're all participating in this. You're not hogging the space.
Thank you. I feel like there was a shift in coming to accept that I have no control.
Mm.
And the body just goes into tremoring from there.
Mm-hmm.
So all the holding on and all the pushing and then this kind of thing happening, just two things pushing up against each other. You know, something gave way in acceptance that that I can't make anything happen, not just this, but anything. And that feels like there's a little relief that comes with that, because this isn't happening anymore, and something opens, my heart opens in that, and even though there's like a kind of mourning that comes about accepting that, whatever it means to me about being in control. Yeah. It just feels like a lot of tremoring going on, and that could go on for hours. So I'm probably not going to be sitting still. I'll be listening and being present, but just letting my body tremor.
Yeah, so welcome. Yeah, so welcome here. Yeah, so welcome. You don't have to control any of it.
Right. The big message here. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and you so get to be with us here. You so get to be in this field. You get to be held by us. You get to be with everyone.
As I tremor.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to hide. You don't have to turn your screen off. It's like you don't have to distance yourself at all. You get to be right with us.
And somebody will just push me off if I'm bothering them, right? Yes. Okay. I can. That's right.
You're so welcome. So welcome here. Like this is what we're doing. We're just in the field together, and we're open to all of it. So we get to be with everything that we're touching together. And you know, and like when people touch deep places, it's going to touch places in us, you know, if we're really available to what's happening. And that's perfect. That's how we're supporting each other and going deeper. It's like who doesn't have you know, issues with trying to control things all the time, you know? It's like
right, not just me, you mean.
Right. Yeah, we so imagine we're in like, this is my problem, this is my life, and you know, my trauma and my shame, and you know, like no one else gets it, and we're just a problem to anyone else if we show up with them. And like the reality is we're actually such a gift to each other. We suffer in such similar ways, and as we bring awareness into it with each other, there's so much healing can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for the way you're with us. Yeah. So beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Diana, see your hand up.
Do it on the iPad, how to get to Kate to say I wanted to just say a few words. Hello, Adam and Kate. I was really having a lovely time during the meditation. I was really in the field of the loving awareness. And then when you mentioned the word heartbreak, suddenly tears appeared, and I wasn't aware of what was happening, and a sadness. And by the end of the meditation, I had a big smile on my face, and everything seemed to be peaceful and calm again. And I was wondering whether I could have picked up, I've forgotten the name of your first participant, with the heartbreak with the daughter and her sadness, whether I could have picked up that in the field, or whether it is something that I'm not acknowledging in myself. I feel very peaceful and still at the moment, but there is still, I can still feel a sadness there.
Yeah, I just totally allow it to be here. It's like it's sort of like the question of like what's mine and what's yours is not that relevant really. It's like if we resist feeling sadness from like when somebody else is in heartbreak, if we try to distance and say, well, that's not mine, I don't need to feel that. It's like we're going to have a similar response to sadness when it appears within us. You know, I mean, it's like we're resisting sadness in the field. So it's just a really,
though the sadness, emotion, although the emotion arose, and there were tears, is that still resisting the emotion you're saying?
No, I mean that's that's when it's being touched, right, by awareness. It's like it's being felt, it's being allowed. So I just invite you to just you know, and everyone on the call, just to really allow whatever moves through to move through, you know, and just not to worry about like, you know, is this from me or from them?
Analyzing it, naming it.
Sorry?
Don't analyze it, try and analyze it.
Yeah, I mean, where does any of it come from? You know, where does any of it come from?
Yes, it just arises.
Yeah, it's just what we're given to feel moment to moment. And we so get to feel it, we so get to let it all move through. But typically we have these ideas about what we should feel and what we shouldn't feel, and you know, we get all caught up in, you know, when feelings show up that we think shouldn't be here or mean something bad about us, then you know, we create all kinds of problems.
Yeah, I don't feel it as bad. It was just really wondering what the heartbreak was about, because I don't feel heartbreak in my life at the moment.
Yeah,
that was all.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, often it doesn't have a story. I mean, you know, stuff can be from, you know, past lives or pre-verbal childhood or you know, just stuff that's in the field. It doesn't need, yeah, it never needs a narrative. I mean, sometimes narratives will come and we'll sort of, you know, we'll get images or memories or whatever. But it's the important thing is to make contact with what's here without needing to know, just really on its own terms.
Yeah.
Often when grief shows up, you know, or heartbreak shows up, it's like, it's just sort of, it connects us to all the different heartbreaks. You know, often we skip over heartbreak. You know, we're like, oh, don't want to touch that, don't want to feel that, and we just sort of move our attention away. So often when we feel it, it just it's like all the heartbreak we've skipped over is just sort of being allowed to be felt.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, and thank you for letting yourself be touched. Yeah, really beautiful. What's here now? What's alive in the field?
Go ahead, Julie.
So delicious to have this complete permission for everything to be here, and then things come and go, and there's just sort of warmth that stays. And things that come and go, some of them I go, oh, that's a problem, like I should probably deal with that at some point. I don't know, like some sensation, or you talked about shame, and some things came through, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of a big deal. And then it went away, or I don't know where these things go hide or rest.
Yeah, it's great just to be with our experience without making it a problem, without making ourselves a problem.
Yeah, it's so refreshing too. What Annie was saying, can you say that 12 times? There's no state we're trying to reach, you know, because I don't think it's intentional, but it's so easy for when some teachers are talking about awareness or, you know, awakening, to kind of like have this thing held out there, like, oh, that's where we're trying to get to. And if we're not there, then, you know, we're deficient or something, you know.
Yeah, it's sort of it's like shame just sort of takes on a spiritual, adopts the spiritual discourse to tell us we're not right, we're not what we're supposed to be. And it's so not true. Everything we are is just like so allowed, so permitted, so valid. Every movement, every unfolding.
Yeah, I really feel that, well, both like the permission that you're pointing to, and also, as you said, that like it becomes a kind of shame. There is this sort of elemental, like insufficiency of ourselves, myself. And it just feels like I don't know, kind of like this cold and contracted, but it's also existing in this field of warmth and holdingness at the same time. So it's sort of this simultaneous experience I'm having with those.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, just bringing loving awareness to like the experience of shame. By not believing the stories, like questioning any of the sort of shame stories, you know, I should be having this experience or that experience, you know, whatever it is. But then like just bringing love to the visceral experience, however that manifests.
Well, and when you say not believing the stories, then like uprises this sort of, you know, fierce, like, yeah, I'm not going for that bullshit. Like, why did you have these bullshit stories in the first place? Whoever, you know, everyone. Humans, churches, whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, like to allow that energy to come through. It's so like it's sort of yeah, to call bullshit on it.
Yeah, it feels like an animal like shaking off. Reminds me of Annie's tremoring, like, ah. And then I
Yes.
love that because it just takes me right down into this rooted strength that oh wow, there's just things happening kind of quick right here. Then there's like a rising up across the chest and a lot of life having its movements. And hearing about that hopelessness too was more like remembering that as a thing that was in the past. And I guess just, I don't know, filling it with aliveness, like there is so much aliveness and strength.
Mm-hmm.
And then in comes again this sort of doubt and that, oh, am I okay? Am I doing this right? Can I really have this experience?
Yeah, it's like, how could you be doing it right or wrong? Like, what would be evidence that you were doing it wrong?
There's not any. The wrongness is like underneath any evidence or lack of it,
Yeah.
you know? It's like in the separateness itself or something
Mm-hmm.
is the wrongness. And it also, it's like there's this sort of subtle thing with the wrongness and humility, like a sort of, and this goes with the shame too, I guess, like there's a wrongness and a shame about being, and then underneath that is like just the surrender and the humility of like, I'm not doing any of this, or we're not, you know, like we're just, I guess, created or given to be here, or who knows, like what the hell's going on. Like you really just don't know like how you even got here or what this is. And that there's an okayness with that, and then there's also like a real or not real, I don't know, temporary, like kind of like shame and about not knowing like how to play the game or what to do, how to fix anything, myself, other people, the planet, like ah.
Yeah, so good to see.
Go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, it's so good to see that sort of presumption that we should be in control, that we should know what's going on, that we should be able to make it all happen.
Yeah, the whole idea that you can fail or succeed, or, you know, and I don't know, it seems to be true. You can, you know, on the playing field of the life, but then to sort of internalize that as ultimate failure, it's not very helpful. And then there's just this field and the love I feel, and everybody. That helps.
Mm.
So good to see you, Adam. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Beautiful being with you. Mm.
Go ahead, Beate.
Hello.
Hi.
I didn't raise my hand, but I'm happy to to speak. It is very, after yesterday's meeting at the retreat, yeah, very transformative, amazingly transformative. So maybe I would like to share this morning how it was for me.
Mm.
For the last 5 years, when all these processes and movements started happening, it was really, especially morning, used to be extremely hard. I'm not going to go into detail, but really, really catastrophic. And yes, I have been practicing a lot of different techniques and a lot of, and surrender, of course, too, but as well as support, from different fields of psychology and meditation and my own intuition. And so I was able in the morning not to stay in bed for many hours in pain and connect with life faster. But and some mornings were really even nice. But this morning, I really felt this incredible support that you speak of, and that support is the most real it can be. Yeah. When 2 people, when 10 people, when 1,000,000 people, 2 is enough, as Christ said. 2 people are willing to be there, greater to come through and show and be that we are, and as we are together connecting, it's much more apparent and real and strong. So this morning I woke up, and the first thing is always the same, the past playing, and it's like what happened today was like this massive dark storm and clouds and hurricanes and all the hell behind me, all projecting into the future. That will recreate, because it's been like that all my life. can't, of course, I'm not, it is not any personal power or ego power, but somehow weaving between these two and where I am, because where am I? I'm here in present. I can't be in the past, no matter how much I would like to, even if I did. And I can't be in the future. I can only be here, and I only ever existed in here. So I was just coming back to it, and there was this happiness, and I was touched on so many levels yesterday that this here was becoming more and more real, strong, vibrant, supportive, and it was like this weaving back and forth, the clouds and the storms and projecting into the future, and me like, I'm here. No, I didn't. I mean, I am here. I know. Yes, it's recreating. Yes, it will take still probably, someone just told me recently, many years to integrate it. I hope not that many. And this present moment, when it is, when I am here, it is just so present, to repeat the word, so consistent, so real, so supportive, so me. And the presence is really coming from, from every corner, from every thought, from every atom that I can sense. And that is a beautiful support that you are creating, and I'm very grateful. And this morning I went to my meditation group and I shared this, and we were all, like basking in my sharing, and I was saying about the we space. It was like, so what does he mean by that? So I was saying more, and for me, this is how I have always seen human existence. Much more we than there is place, of course, for I. There's place for everything, but the direction of life. Yes, I have seen direction of life going into we. So you unmuted me, okay? So I did share. Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate this sort of that sense of the trustworthiness of awareness and contact, and like it's so reliable. And this is what this is sort of the trust that builds as we open to.
Yeah, the trust builds. Yeah. I have to say, there was so much terror for so many years that it destroyed trust. But I kept coming back, and then from some other teachings, I write the most important things on some big pieces of paper and put them on walls, so I'm guiding myself, especially for the morning, and so there was this thing I wrote: trust by experience. Yeah, it's not supposed to be blind trust that I used to be prone to, but by experience. So as what you were saying, because my system, my mind interprets trust. Surrender blindly, they come the killers and just kiss everybody. No, it's not about that. So my mind, my upbringing, and my personality, it goes in that direction.
Yeah.
So it is not about, if the killers come, they're like, all right, fine. It's I'm learning that it is this play of to interact with, and to what extent, and where to let go deeper with myself, with what arises in me, and with other people, and this creates trust in me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's trusting, like being in the truth, like being in contact with what's real. It's like the reliability of that, like when we like actually come to what's real, what's really here, what's really here.
But it's with wisdom, because if I'm doing it without wisdom and without teachings, then it's, for me, it's like, you know, falling into hell after hell after hell.
Yeah, and it's
Do you know
like,
what I mean?
yeah. So to notice, like, sort of like when we're asking what's here, like to notice like what place is asking, you know, like, so it's sort of, so it's like this larger holding awareness is touching what's here. So it's not like part of our personality. Yeah, it's not the or the shame or whatever touching what's here. It's like it's awareness itself touching what's here. The field of loving awareness touching what's here.
Yeah, but to come to experientially to this, one has to go through a lot of bullshit in the head, in the system, you know, and the teachings and interpretations from the, you know, from the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, to not get hooked up, and also to guide myself in surrender and acceptance, wisely, rather than blindly. That's been my past and my past lives, for sure, that kind of spiritual environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, way too much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Lovely being with you.
Yeah, thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you.
It's alive now. You're experiencing.
Bobby, go ahead. Let me in.
Oh, thanks, Kate.
Hi, Bobby.
Oh, hi everybody. Feel a lot of energy flowing here. It feels really good to be with everybody. And yeah, got back a few days ago where I was sitting with my aunt in hospice and just, you know, looking in her eyes and holding her hand, and yeah. Yeah, beautiful hazel green eyes. My dad's sister was like looking into the eyes of eternity. Yeah. Yeah, getting ready for a visit from one of our daughters, and just a lot Um, so I just would love to feel into what's here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of regrouping and getting ready and all that. And yeah. Mm.
Mm.
It's just really great to be with all of you. And one thing that's coming up has just been the, more and more the beauty of this shared space. And just, I was listening to something last night about the, how, the presence of love and the presence of, it's sort of like I all the things that I used to be ashamed of, like needing, like really desperately needing this alive kind of communication with other people. And I would have some once in a while, but it would just leave me like so longing for more, and to come to understand, oh, this is really the direction we can move in, and just so grateful for not only the shame can drop away, but also like this is a good thing. This is a really valuable good thing. Yeah.
Longing is not a mistake. It's like, it's like we're drawn to to being alive. We're drawn to aliveness and contact, to love.
Yeah.
So natural. It's not a problem. It's not a sign of weakness. Not something to get over.
Yeah, and it feels like it's becoming increasingly more available. And there's so much gratitude for that, for years, Adam, I'd go into your office and I'd sit for an hour and it would seem so real and alive. And then often the rest of my week was like where, I would have partner practices and stuff, but it's like, oh my gosh, it just yeah, it's so beautiful and powerful, and it's really just to feel like people are trying to bring together communities where this is just present is lovely.
Yeah, it's like we get to be together like this, together, open to whatever's here.
Yeah.
It's like we so want this. We so want this with each other.
Yeah, and just hearing the shares this morning, Julie, I love you. You're just so, I love you. And the last one, was it Beata?
Beata.
Beata. Yeah, that just was. I just felt so much aliveness coming from that. Very grateful. Yeah, and there's another thing. A lot is just kind of, I don't know, percolating right now. And there's another thing. I was reading this book called last night called A Small Book About the Human Shadow by Robert Bly. And I've heard this before, but it was talking about how, your things that trigger you about other people. And I've heard this a million times, but it's like look back into yourself and see there's something there that you're probably missing. There's a part of you that you're pushing down. And so, yeah. That's kind of scary, actually, but just another avenue to explore down.
Yeah, what place is that touching you? Yeah, I mean, these places are so well guarded. It's like, and the shade can be so thick around them. It's like it's sort of, you know, we can go sort of hazy, or like I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
It can feel like our life depends on like not knowing these places, and it's not true, of course.
I guess there's something coming up around. It's too big. It's too, like, you know, my massive dark cloud that I'm dragging behind me. It's too, like, yeah. It's tricky enough just to get through life, like.
Yeah, it's so not true. Yeah, so not true.
Which part? That it's too big to.
Too big. Yeah, it's
big.
It's not too big. Yeah, it seems like it's too big, but it's not too big.
Yeah, it does seem. Yeah.
It's like there's so much life in that, the stuff we're dragging around, like hiding and stuffing places. It's like there's so much aliveness that just wants to flow through. And it actually comes into integration naturally. It's like not something we can manage or like put in the right place or something. It's like it integrates naturally in awareness.
Yeah.
And there's so much effort goes into concealing it, to clamping down on it, to stopping ourselves from being alive.
Well, that's kind of the word, alive. Like, there's something about that full range of aliveness and exuberance and giddiness and silliness and all that I can kind of pull back from sometimes. Not always, but yeah, like that.
Yeah, just like allowing that aliveness to be here. As dark as it might seem, as scary as it might seem.
As dark as the aliveness might seem, this is starting to break down, Adam. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this, like it's very alive, and like the shadowy, the stuff that's like shameful is like it's so scary. It's so dark. It's like it appears so dark to us. No, it's not really, of course. Yeah, it's just like total permission to allow all that energy in, allow it all to be here. All the stuff we call bad or dark or wrong. All the parts of us that shame has condemned.
Yeah, I can feel a lot of aliveness moving through me right now.
What's the shape of it? The flavor of it?
The aliveness.
Mm.
Just kind of moving through my core and like a river.
Mm.
And there's a judgment coming up that I should be more, you know, what is it about? I should be more, like my outer appearance should be more cheerleader-like or something, you know, and yeah. But maybe it's just enough to feel that coming through and enjoying it, sharing it when I can. I think I also was called really serious when I was growing up. And yeah, I think that stuck with me. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to notice the sort of the sort of visceral feeling of shame there, like the sort of like yeah, like what's here is not okay, it's not right. Should be more or should be less, or you know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like shape. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can feel the sort of tightness of it. It's like this sort of like it's like
Yeah.
it's like you've got to be absolutely right on, or you know you're.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just taps into whether or not, you know, I belong, that old issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is, if I drop all those expectations, then even more aliveness can come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it all gets to be here. Like all the stuff that like, you know, it feels like it might knock you off, like where you're, it's like all of that. It's like that's total bullshit. That attempt to like find the perfect, it's like total bullshit.
Yeah.
It's such a huge lie. So we get to be so alive, and we get to feel so many different feelings moving through, so many different energies.
Yeah, it's still for me, it's so much around reactions to me. So if someone's reacting negatively, then it's something I have to clean up about myself. You know, it's still very strong in me to, I mean, and part of that's natural, you know, to observe the effects of your behavior on other people and, you know, adjust. But that's pretty strong in me. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can just feel as you're saying it, like the sort of the constriction, you know, like the way that it's
yeah,
like,
I know.
yeah, it's like everything's going to be held in and censored and checked before it's let out, and yeah, and it's more sort of like this, yeah, like just allowing the flow to happen, and like really trusting ourselves to, like, trusting that everything that's here is valid, and trusting ourselves to move with whatever happens relationally. Like that we'll be in touch with it, and that, you know, we're not going to get killed off because we so get to be here.
And now it's drilling down into that, you know, so fearful of, okay, there's a negative expression, so fearful of having caused that and causing pain. That's really what the constriction is. And it seems like kind of a reasonable one to have, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like we just don't get to live, you know, in that place. It's like it's like no one must be triggered by us. Nobody must have a bad experience of us.
Yeah.
Nobody must feel hurt in our presence. It's like then it's like we just like, okay, I'll take myself out, you know.
Yeah.
I just like try to like not exist at all. I'll try to be the good one for you, the inoffensive one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we so get to be here. Our life gets to be here. It's just as valid as anybody else's. And it's actually such a contribution when we're free and when we're alive. It's such a contribution to everyone. Everyone can sort of relax. It's like when we're all like holding ourselves gripped tight. It's like everybody's like, I guess we don't get to be here either.
Yeah, I didn't consider that part of it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, beautiful just to feel that looseness coming through as well. It's like, oh yeah, right, we get to be here. Yeah. It's such a relief to come through the cloud of shame, you know. It's like when it's sort of like we pop the bubble, you know, it's like, it's a freaking lie. It's total bullshit. Yeah, total permission to be as we are.
Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, being so vulnerable. And again, there's such a temptation to believe that this is personal, you know, that we're the only one that experiences shame, or we're the only one that like feels this, because everyone on this call has that experience. We all know this place. And it's so beautiful when someone's willing to share and take us in there and take us through it. So grateful. I notice we're coming up to time here. Just, yeah, so grateful for your presence here. I can just for everyone who's shared verbally, and for everyone who's shared just in your presence and your willingness to be here, your holding. You know, I just can feel the contribution of each of you to this shared space. Really powerful. Yeah, so we're really, you know, we're exploring a different way of being together. This is it's sort of like a laboratory or something where we get to come together in this way and realize like how we can be together so openly. We can receive each other so fully. Yeah, just thank you so much for giving yourselves to this space. So appreciate it. Now I want to especially thank Open Circle for hosting this event and for all the events that Open Circle puts on, and bringing people together in truth, in awareness.